Thursday, November 21st. That's 3 weeks down in November.
Wow.
We're back in our seats after traveling the world, getting ready to travel it again, but we have to talk about EV battery tech, Coke using AI, and whatever else comes to mind in the next 10
whatever else
minutes.
we feel like. You're just going to get all of it this Thursday.
Can we just jump on the dog pile real quick of the Jaguar rebrand?
It got sideways.
Because it really got sideways yesterday, and we talked about it early in the day, and we made some predictions. And then we if you don't follow us on LinkedIn, you should go to LinkedIn and follow ASOTU. And we made like our little version of a rebrand, which is a lot of fun. and like this morning, it's like in every news cycle story, ad age, and everybody's jumping on the rabbit. Meanwhile, we got our buddy Michael Wood out here in JLR in Virginia. Just be like, hold up, everybody. You wait for the product, because he probably knows something about the product that we don't. He's like,
sure.
wait. And I bet the product's going to be awesome.
Yeah, actually, I remember about 3 months ago, he said, because I think the Jaguar like dealer meeting happened, and there was basically this split. Actually, we had a comment on one of the threads that I read that that someone after that dealer meeting gave up their Jaguar franchise. They were like, you can have it back. But then other people were like, I'm in, because the product looked unbelievable. So yeah. I think there's anytime.
I wonder where the one that gave up.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You said every time you do something bold like that.
Yeah. You're always going to have like winners and losers, happy people and not happy people, right? True. You're like clearly drawing a line. And so it'll be interesting. They would have lost a couple more. I think they would have lost a couple more of those dealers if they played this ad campaign at the meeting too. Didn't just show the product. No, from what I understand, they played it.
Oh
yeah, I talked to a Porsche dealer yesterday that said like they knew they already saw, at least maybe not played it, but like saw some of the visuals and stuff. So wild.
Okay, I think the car is probably going to look dope, and it's just fun talking about the branding. Here's what I would have done, and like it's full of people be like, hire me next time, right?
No,
it's just fun. It's fun. It's buzzy. It's fun. Speaking of things that are fun and buzzy, we have a webinar coming up tomorrow, talking about essential techniques for digital merchandising success with our friends at CarCutter. Daniel Abel is an amazing person to talk us through this with CarCutter. And we're also going to be talking to Brian Free, former VP of digital marketing at the little dealership group called AutoNation. So we got some real big heavy hitters on the webinar. You can go to ASOTU.com, sign up for the webinar so you either get the recording, but we really would love for you to be with us in person at 2 p.m. tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern. So you can check that out. What else? Are we talking about ASOTU CON today? ASOTU CON?
Yeah. Go to ASOTUCon.com. You got to get them tickets, and the tickets are going to be the lowest price they ever have been, but only if you go to ASOTUCon.com.
You're on the list.
Put your little email in there, and you're on the list, little early adopters, the first movers list.
Shout out to all the hundreds of people that are on this list now for just very patiently waiting for us to drip anything. They signed up for the list. They got to thank you. And then they haven't heard anything. Some of them for months, but we're cooking. We're over here cooking, but every day, like people are signing up on this list. I'm like, I think we're going to sell out this year, like much differently than we did last year.
It's going to be nuts.
Yeah. So make sure you're on the list because we have so many things to talk about. We haven't released really anything but the venue and the dates and a little bit of the design aesthetic, but conversations are roaring. And let's get into some news.
Let's get into it.
Honda is aiming to double the driving range. That's right. We said double the driving range of its EV battery technology by, we're not even going to say 2030. We don't say that anymore. Now Honda's saying by the late 2020s. And if you didn't know, like it's almost 2025. So around these solid state batteries, research head Keiji Otsu describes the initiative as a, quote, game changer that could redefine EV capabilities and reset consumer expectations. Basically, a $277 million pilot production line in Japan is set to manufacture the advanced batteries, targeting a 50% reduction in size and a 25% cost reduction by the mid-2020s. It aligned with Honda's broader goal of producing over 2 million EVs annually by, yes, they're going to say 2030 here, and achieving 100% EV and fuel cell vehicle sales globally by 2040. That's the first time I've heard 2040.
Wow.
Talks of collaboration with Nissan have also emerged, with Otsu saying, quote, there may be areas where we can work together.
Yeah. Okay. So I got three main comments here. One is, okay, Toyota. Sorry. No, but solid state batteries, like we've all known, everybody's been talking about, like the potential of, if they can get it right, lowering the cost, lowering the capacity, lowering the size of these things, and that's totally changing the ability to kind of build around them. Two is staggering that we just ran yesterday or 2 days ago that BYD has produced 10 million vehicles in
2 days ago.
2 days ago. And we're targeting 2 million EVs annually by 2030. It just shows what it takes for a legacy automaker to flip that switch. Really, really interesting there. And then I'm really interested in this Nissan collaboration with Honda.
It's definitely a strange
one I never saw coming.
Well, we'll see. We'll see if it actually comes across. Our friend Jim Ganther chiming in on the live stream. EVs are interesting and all, but let's get down to brass tacks. How are you preparing your turkey next week? Oven roast, deep fry, or smoke? I am happy to say, and then he says, Brian or no, I'm happy to say that I've gone 100% EV for my oven. It's fully electric this year. And so we're going to be producing our turkey in an EV oven, if that helps you.
Oven. I'm so proud of you.
It's an EV oven. It doesn't go anywhere, though. Speaking of EV battery technology, though, these two stories kind of go together.
Right.
So there's a new study predicting that EV battery prices are on track to plummet by 50% by 2026.
Wow.
Guys, it's going to be 2025 in like 6 weeks. Powered by advancements in technology and manufacturing. Obviously, some of the solid state tech is a part of this gap, which 50% cost reduction, really closing the gap between EVs and gas. Goldman Sachs is predicting battery prices will fall from $149 a kilowatt hour in 2023 to $80 a kilowatt hour by 2026 and potentially $60 a kilowatt hour by 2030. To put it in perspective, a 100 kilowatt battery for a large SUV could cost $6,000, while an 800 kilowatt battery for a semi might be priced under $50,000. So, I guess we put it in perspective, but like these batteries right now cost way more than that. Major cost of the vehicle. Innovations like cell to pack design, simplifying battery construction, boosting energy density, some other lithium iron phosphate batteries. They could also claim almost half of the market by 2025. So cost parity on EVs expected to meet gasoline vehicles by 2026, even without government incentives, which is good news because they're probably going away. Here's a quote from Nikhil Bandari of Goldman Sachs Research. He says, quote, rapid battery price drops and smarter designs will make EVs a mainstream option. Goldman Sachs getting into the EV conversation.
Yeah, I mean, this is the parity. Manufacturers know how to put skins on powertrains, right? That's been doing that for years and years, and they understand how to reduce costs on those things, how to do it based on scale and large print type stuff. This is the parity that has to get reached. And you look back and think about the parity that was reached specifically with TVs. I liken this to TVs, like when the technology, the manufacturing volume hit like a certain curve, and all of a sudden we get to the parity, whether or not that happens that quickly and whether or not we need to bob and weave to a new technology like the solid state or something else, we'll see. But this is the opportunity for all manufacturers to get in at a lower price point potentially. And I think that's still going to be the driver. But like you said, tax incentives basically match the price difference here. And so it may just be like a balancing act at that point.
Yeah. Oh man, that sounds right. But either way, you think of the Honda story, you think of this story, one thing seems very, very clear, that EV adoption is going to increase as a result of the lower costs, regardless of what happens with incentives. And we get the charging infrastructure right.
Yep.
I think that adoption curve is going to even out. People are going to still want their gas vehicles. It's funny.
They will.
We get to be in so many stores, right? It's one of the benefits I think that we have of traveling around, shooting More Than Cars episodes, doing some consulting. Just ASOTU is out in the world, right? We're not sitting in a tower just commentating on what we think is going on. So we get to actually talk about these, sit in these cars, ask salespeople how people are responding to them, how dealers are doing it. We see chargers at dealerships usually empty, right?
Yeah, every time.
Like, did you see? I mean, we were traveling this week, and I
saw 4 of them that were empty. I don't know about you. How many
at one place? No, easy. And these are places that sell EVs. So like we're still getting there, but I think we're going to get there as technology moves forward. Speaking of technology moving forward and the holidays and iconic Coca-Cola commercials.
I can't wait to get the comments on this. So Coca-Cola's decision to remake its 1995 Holidays Are Coming ad using AI has sparked both controversy and curiosity. Obviously, critics debate the ad's aesthetics, while Coke sees it as a bold step in exploring generative AI's potential for creativity and efficiency. 3 studios combined to use AI to reinterpret the classic ad with tools like Runway and Leonardo. A lot of people are claiming these ads actually look very fake and lack the original charm. Obviously, market testing from Coke showed positive consumer responses with high emotional impact, interestingly enough. AI obviously allowed this to go wide and not deep, allowing hyper-localized content, adapting the ad for 12 different U.S. regions with tailored details. Pratak Thakar, Coke's head of generative AI, said, "We balance creative humans with new technologies." It is interesting to me that this was 3 studios working with these AI tools. Like it still took a lot of people involved, you know?
It sure did. Let's watch the video.
Let's do it. Let's check it out.
There's our polar bear and the reindeer. Yeah, Coca-Cola semis driving through a town and dogs wagging tails. Oh, a Coca-Cola satellite broadcasting polar bears. You know what's funny? I saw a different commercial than this because they made multiple versions.
Yep.
And the one that I saw had a lot more people in it.
Interesting.
And it actually looked more real than that one.
Yeah, there's multiple different versions of this. I saw a different. I saw like a different headline to one, but that's definitely one of them. The trained eye can pick it out, right?
Yep.
Like I can see it in the dog's wagging tail. Like that was clearly generated by AI. So if you're looking for it, but here's the thing. This is what I think is so clever about this, and this is where I think dealers and even industry partners, when you're making stuff like this, when you have a very, very little time to capture someone's attention, and they are actually not like hyper focused on the content, there's the ability to kind of like craft
sleight of hand, move it through. Absolutely.
Right.
So I watched the production video about this morning. Well, if I showed the commercial to my wife because she was sitting there, and I was like, "Watch this commercial." Right? What do you think? She's like, "It's like a Coke holiday commercial." I was like, "It's 100% AI." She's like, "Those people are AI?" I was like, "Oh yeah, everything." And then we watched the production video, and they generated they went through the process and basically said we generated 28,000 images and had all these teams working on it. My wife says, "I bet that saved them a fortune." And then we're watching it. I'm like, it's a lot of people to be working on this. But basically what they said is we were able to do things in pre-production visually that we would not be able to try until post-production. And when start to finish, the whole commercial was produced in 3 weeks. They used humans to be the models, right? They took pictures of actual humans and they used that to generate the video content. So they used real people and then used that. They wrote an original score and had real people record that. So that was another human touch. So they went through how they're trying to integrate it. So I think it's pretty savvy. It is indicative of what is happening. I think the smartest people, dealerships included, are figuring out how to work AI into the workflow, whether that's on the data side, on the creative side, and the ones that are doing it are going to be the front runners in 12 months from now, which is why we have a new email.
Yep.
Right.
There you go. Autoindustry.ai. We'll keep you ahead of it. You know what I mean?
That's it.
I'm here for it.
If you're scared, if you're scared, go to autoindustry.ai, get our email. We will handhold you through this transition. And whether you're a neophyte and you're just figuring it out, or if you're kind of neck deep in it, we have stuff for you as well. And like Kyle said, he's here for it. We're here for it.
I'm here for this. I think it's great.
If you're not here for it, you're going to lose. It's we'll make that bold of a statement. It's
called the shot.
I mean, we called a lot of shots this week. Just feeling bold this week. Let's go. Hey, whatever you're doing this Thursday doesn't change a thing. You have people that are going to be in your face. You need to care for them. You need to sell them some cars, service their cars, and take care of one another.